Good morning, my darlings, and welcome to a new vlog. It is officially September. The start of cozy season is officially here. I've been getting very overzealous, overexcited about the arrival of September, but now that it's finally here, we can embrace all things cozy, all things autumn, and no one can say a word. I know there will be those people saying, Josie, autumn equinox is not until the middle of the month, but let me tell you how my calendar goes. January, February, March, winter. April, May and half of June, spring. Half of June, July, August, summer. September, October, November, autumn. December, Christmas. December is its own season because it doesn't feel autumnal, it just feels festive, especially here in the Cotswolds. So we're leaning into all things cozy. Today is Sunday. It's a really beautiful day today and we're having a very relaxed day. I'm actually heading to 𝑑𝒉𝒅 shortly with my mum. We're booked in for a 90-minute breathwork, sound healing and restorative yoga. 90 minutes. It's going to be heavenly. What a lovely way to spend the day. So we'll pop around the farm shop. 𝑑𝒉𝒅 at this time of year comes into its own even more. The autumnal home bits that they have, the fresh seasonal produce. I can't wait to have a look around. Haven't been into the farm shop in a while. I say a while, maybe 10 days. So I'm looking forward to that. And then as it's a beautiful day, we will probably head for a walk, do a little bit of pottering in the garden. And very excitingly, Charlie uttered the two most magical words that you can hear on a Sunday in autumn. Sunday roast. Sunday roast. We are having what he called a mini roast, an introductory Sunday roast later on today. So it's basically going to be the perfect day. I've just had the most gorgeous pampering bath before yoga, I know, but you don't get hot and sweaty for yoga, so I think we'll be fine. And now I'm doing a little bit of skincare. What you just saw me apply, I have had to keep this a secret from you for so long, but I can finally share it with you. You will probably be familiar with the fact that I adore 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅. It's one of my favourite skincare brands, powered and inspired by nature, Eve's grandmother's garden, but with very scientifical research and innovation behind the ingredients so that it really works so well and has a big impact on your skin, but in a lovely, gentle and quite natural way. So the Time Retreat collection, which you're probably again familiar with, and I know that so many of you are huge fans of this collection. It's a premium skincare collection from 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 focused on enhancing the skin in a way that helps promote healthy aging. So if you do want to soften any fine lines, if you want your skin to be really radiant and glowing, and you want to just gently fight those signs of aging, then this is a gorgeous skincare collection. So these two have been the dream team, but now the dream team has a new addition. So this is the restorative skin essence, and what I like to do is, as you saw, I'll do it again, I don't think that will hurt. The consistency is essentially like water, and you just press it onto your skin straight after cleansing. I used my lovely cleansing balm before getting in the bath. It's just full of so many lovely essential oils that my skin just drinks it in and loves it so much. This helps to plump and perfect and hydrate the skin so that your skin is hydrated, but also in the prime state to absorb whatever you put on next, whether that's a really lovely hydrating serum or anti-aging serum. Putting on an essence, basically, imagine, okay, let's use a gardening example. Yesterday, we went to visit Charlie's nan in her retirement home. And there was a potted rose on her bedside table. And I thought, oh, I'll give that a water. It had not been watered in quite some time, so the soil was actually pretty much solid. And when I put the water on it, the water just bounced off because it couldn't permeate through the soil. And that's kind of what happens to your skin if you put lovely things on bone dry skin. So what you need to do is essentially pre-moisten the skin before putting on your lovely serums. So what I did with the rose, I left it sitting in the sink full of water and just kind of gradually moistened it and then gave it a proper watering. And that's kind of what I've done with my skin. I've popped a little bit of essence on, pre-hydrated the skin, so now it is in the perfect state for popping on my Radiance Repair Retinol Serum. You'll have heard the word retinol in here. This is an anti-aging skincare range. I would say I'm in my early to mid 30s, so I do think about anti-aging when it comes to my skincare, but I want something that's also going to pack my skin with other benefits like the hydration and the radiance that I'm going to get from this and improving my skin texture. And our skin is our largest organ, so it's important that we keep it balanced. And this skincare range also very cleverly looks after the microbiome of the skin, which means that it's basically all the cells within your skin, all the different layers are working to the best of their ability. So I've popped on my serum and I can feel my skin is just drinking it in, getting all the goodness. And although it is retinol in the formula, because it's 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, it's encapsulated, it's very gentle, so you can use this twice a day. You can use it in the daytime, whereas most retinols you have to save until the evening. And then to triple the power, I'm finishing with my Daily Rejuvenating Cream, which I use as a day cream and a night cream. This is a time of year where maybe routines are getting reset and you might want to think about adding more retinol into your skincare now that summer is over, just to help with the texture of the skin. Retinol I like to think of as an ingredient that kind of nibbles away at those dull, dead skin cells that might be sitting on the top layer of your skin, creating a dullness to your complexion and also not helping with any fine lines and wrinkles, kind of enhancing those. So by applying retinol, it's almost nibbling away at those little dead skin cells and revealing a more even, bright, healthy looking and smooth complexion underneath. It does of course mean you need to pop on some SPF afterwards. I've just realised we are meant to be leaving in 10 minutes because we thought that we would head to the farm shop before going into yoga, so I need to get cracking, but I'm sure that lots of you will be really excited about this new launch and want to add it into your skincare routine. Don't forget I have got the discount code Josie20, which works on 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, so you could treat yourself to this whole time retreat collection, the new essence, or of course other favourites like the cleansing balm, the SPF, and it's a really fantastic time of year to treat yourself to some lovely skincare as we move into the new season. And just before I quickly dry my hair, one final thing to mention. I know that retinol can be a little bit, I don't think it should be, but it can be a little bit intense for some people or a little bit scary for some people. This is a really nice kind of introduction because this is powered by 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅's Time Retreat Bio Complex, which is actually a plant-based alternative to the encapsulated retinol in the other two products in the collection. So it's got very, very similar effects to retinol, but it's plant-based, it's that little bit more gentle. So again, perfect for using morning and evening. So this is a fantastic kind of baby steps into a retinol routine, or a fantastic addition if you're already into your retinols. So do check this out. I'm sure that you guys will love it. It'll have you glowing all throughout the rest of the year, and I'll leave it linked down below.
very pampering Sunday morning at 𝑑𝒉𝒅, and then we popped into the 𝑭𝒆𝒂𝒕 farm shop on the way home to get a few extra bits. They didn't have carrots or potatoes at 𝑑𝒉𝒅 today. I guess it's a Sunday and they probably don't get deliveries from the farmers on a Sunday, but lots of gnarly carrots for our Sunday roast and some still dirty from the field potatoes, just how we like them. I'm going to do a broccoli cheese, not a cauliflower cheese, a broccoli cheese. I just love broccoli, it's delicious. So I got a couple of big broccoli heads and then a different cheese combination. I know that we've already got the safe bets in the fridge, cheddar and parmesan, but I grabbed some Comté. Comté, I would say, is an elite cheese when it comes to cauliflower and broccoli cheese for a Sunday roast. There's something a little bit more savory and nutty about it. And then this one I've not tried before. It's called 𝑭𝒒𝒂𝒕. 𝑭𝒒𝒂𝒕. I liked the name and I love the colour. And it said it's a nutty, rich, creamy cheese, which sounds perfect. A couple of organic unsalted butters, some blueberries for my smoothie and Charlie's breakfast, whole milk, a few eggs and some flour, and then a couple of kefirs. I'm going to use one of these to make a date, cinnamon and coffee smoothie for my very, very late breakfast alongside a couple of my veggie egg muffins that are currently in the 𝑭𝒂𝒕. Okay, it's 1:15. I've been home for an hour or so and it's one of those days today where it's just stormy. So 1 second it's blue skies, it's almost, oh, let's go and lie out in the sun. And then the next second a big cloud comes over and it's torrential rain. It's actually a really good day to feed the garden. Charlie's just been out putting seed on the lawn and I am going to, the second it stops raining, which I think it's stopping, I'm going to run out and put some feed on my pumpkins because they are really starting to grow at the moment, which is really exciting. And pumpkins require a lot of water and a lot of food. They are very hungry little vegetables. I thought I would also clear a space to hopefully put in some 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 seedlings. I have never bought seedlings online before, but I actually typed in 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 seedlings into Google and an Etsy seller came up. So I've ordered some seedlings. They'll probably be arriving in the next couple of days. So I want to make sure I've got an area for those. And I know it's not that attractive, but I am going to put some netting over them just for winter. We don't spend anywhere near as much time down in the garden, sadly. Probably from like mid-September for the rest of the year. But I do still love to have things that I can go and harvest. 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 being cut and come again, or you know, you can just keep on picking it. So it's one of the best things I would recommend growing throughout the autumn months. And it's so good for you. The dark, almost like dinosaur skin, knobbly leaves. I'm sure you guys know. I'll pop a photo on the screen here. But I need to clear a little bit of space, maybe where the tomatoes are. I think they're coming to the end now, so that as soon as the seedlings arrive, I can get them in the ground, get the covers on them, and we are good to go. Because of this stormy weather, I feel like I'm going to be inside and outside a lot today. So I want to write myself a little bit of a Sunday afternoon to-do list. I've got my ginormous notebook here, and I've got a few chores that I need to do. The herbs that I have been drying in the dining room, I need to sort those out. If you haven't got a clue what I'm on about, I basically harvested loads of herbs from the garden before we went on holiday to Italy and pressed them between 2 layers of tablecloth in the dining room while we've been away. So for 3 or 4 weeks, those herbs have been drying out. And now that they'll be fully dry, I need to basically put them in jars, label them, and store them for the winter months. And I might do the whole process again if it turns out successful. I should also have some nice dried lavender if that worked, and I'm planning on making some lavender bath salts, which would be lovely. So sort out dried herbs. The sun just came out again, so I've run outside and I've got our chicken manure pellets. I know it's not very glamorous, but this is what the pumpkins love the most, and the courgettes. So I'm going to sprinkle them using my giant old coal shovel all over the beds, ready for the next downpour. Given how late in the season it is, I just don't know if these are going to ripen. These are amazing big tomatoes, but I seem to think there are a few recipes that you can do with unripe tomatoes. So I need to do a little bit of research. This area has got very weed ridden, so many weeds just growing through. There's some purple basil that I can use in some nice recipes. And look, these branches of tomatoes have just got so heavy they've fallen down. I really need to spend some more time down in this area. It's always the way at the end of summer. I just get busy and the garden gets completely overgrown. Look, this would have been a giant tomato plant if it had the right support. Okay, I've spent a little bit of time tidying the cut flower area. As I've mentioned a million times before, I found the garden very overwhelming this year. I could spend 3 solid full days down here and not even touch the sides. There's so much still to do, but we've got a Sunday roast to cook. So I'm going to see if I've got a nice big carrot. There we go, I think I can see one that will be useful for our trivet. Actually, that one's not too big. Let's see, let's pull this one up. Oh, not too big at all. That's perfect for roasting. My bean support has been more of a pumpkin support this year, but still plenty of beans as well. This was a mixed pack, so I've got green beans, yellow beans and purple beans. This will be a nice variety to have buttered with our roast beef. Okay, so I am head chefing today as Charlie has some very important football to watch. So while the beef is sizzling away for its first high heat cook and the potatoes are parboiling, I'm going to take a look at the herbs. I'm hoping this has worked because this will be a great way of being able to preserve and use herbs from the garden all throughout the rest of winter. I have got a selection of jars and things that I'm going to put them into, and we've cleared a space in this cupboard. It's kind of like a secret cupboard that would once have been a hallway or a doorway to the chapel next door, but now it's basically our alcohol cupboard. But I drink very, very little. Charlie has been 6 years sober, so there's not really a huge point in us having a really big drinks cabinet. I only ever really go into it to get vodka for my pasta alla vodka. So we've had a massive clear out. We're going to take loads to like a local food bank and just offer some up to friends and family. So what I need to get is a label maker. If anyone's got any recommendations of a good one, please let me know. But for now, I'm just going to scribble down what they are on a bit of paper and put that on top of the jam jar lid. So anyway, without further ado, let's see how the herbs look. As I said, they've been compressed under this tablecloth for about a month now. And I know that you can't normally dedicate an entire dining room table to herb drying for a month, so I might have to invest in a dehydrator. But anyway, let's see. Oh my goodness, so far this looks good. Oh, can you guys see this? I have not even peeked under here ever since before we went to Italy, so I'm going to carefully peel back this top tablecloth. I should have written down what they were, but I'm pretty sure that's lemon balm. And then mint, this is thyme. We've got rosemary. This seems to have worked really well. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Ooh, so much lavender. I feel like I should have done even more because honestly, this amount of herbs could get used in just 3 or 4 pots of tea and 2 or 3 Sunday roasts. But as you can see, the thyme has dried out absolutely perfectly. It's completely crispy, as is the rosemary. Some of the bits are a little bit, they've gone a bit brown, but I don't think that should affect the flavour. So I guess I'll just do a jar full of mint, a jar full of lemon balm, thyme and rosemary. And then with the lavender, I think, to be honest, it's actually just the little seed bits that I need, so I'll try to separate those out. I'll probably have a little look on YouTube to see if there's a good way of doing it, or if I just have to like shake them. Yeah, so I think they'll crumble apart quite easily because it's only these little bits that I need for my recipes. Quite a therapeutic job that I will just keep popping in here and doing in between sorting bits for the Sunday roast. But first, let's go and check on my potatoes. Everything is going well, and now it's time to come and grab some herbs, fresh herbs, while we've still got them. I'm going to add these to the gravy, to the roast potatoes, and also to the carrots. I'm going to do a nice slow roasted carrot. I forget how to quite get the timings perfect on a roast, so my beef is done. It's going to be very well rested, but I would definitely rather that than be waiting for the beef. We will be ending up waiting for the potatoes, I'm sure. I've got tons of herbs in the garden to choose from. I'm going to mostly grab rosemary, thyme, and maybe some sage leaves to put in with my carrots as well. I feel like that could be a nice combo. Perfect. Hear me over the breeze. I would give that roast, I would give it a 6 out of 10. Definitely nothing higher, maybe a 5.5. Obviously I did the roast by myself. Normally Charlie does them, and he's definitely better than me at doing a Sunday roast, but considering I've not cooked one by myself in probably 3 or 4 years, it wasn't too bad. This is the first time that Dickens has actually walked by himself on this walk. He's applying the sausage dog brakes today, and anyone else with a sausage dog will know exactly what that is. Sometimes they just refuse to walk. It's terribly annoying. It looks like he's found his feet. Wrong way, baby, we're going this way. We're gonna go this way. Mummy's gonna pick some blackberries. Anyway, after a Sunday roast, I always feel like I need to go for a nice, at least 45-minute walk because it is delicious, but it's a heavy meal. So I'm heading out with the boys, armed with my trug. We're going to pick some blackberries while they are still so abundant. It is mega berry season at the moment. There are berries in practically every hedgerow and every bush, and I, for one, want to eat them. So let's carry on this lovely walk in this beautiful evening autumnal sunshine and get some blackberries. Well, now that Dickie's walking, I don't have the heart to tell him that I wasn't planning on going this way. This is also a lovely walk. I feel like I've shown you this field throughout the seasons. Obviously it's now been cut down, and it was a wheat, I believe, and then they turned it into hay bales, or wheat bales they should be called, and the hay bales have now been taken in by the farmers, stored in the barns, and so it's just left like this. Good morning, my darlings. It's now Monday morning, a new week and a new month. Today is, for me, the first day of September, although I've been mentally in September for a good couple of days now. So just did a great, very tough Pilates, and my routine is now, on the days when I can get away with it, workload wise, to go and do 20 minutes in the sauna and read a couple of chapters of my book. And it's just such a nice time to chill out, have a little bit of a pamper, and then back home to work. Because I work for myself, my hours are just kind of every hour, even at weekends. So even though it is working hours technically right now and my inbox is popping off, I do like to just allow that little bit of time, which is a real luxury. I also just had a look around the farm shop again. I know I went in there yesterday, but I had a sneaky feeling, sorry, hang on a sec, I'm really hot. There we go. I had a sneaky feeling that as it's the first day of September today, that they would have put more autumnal things in the farm shop. And I was right. They have done some really beautiful tablescapes using really lovely dried wheat. They've put the mushroom collections out for tablescapes as well. There were gourds and butternut in the entrance area. If you'd like to see like a September 𝑑𝒉𝒆 tour, I did film it on my phone, and I'll probably share it on TikTok and YouTube Shorts as well. I'll probably post it on the same day as this video on YouTube Shorts. So if you'd like to see all the new in for September at 𝑑𝒉𝒆, then I'll leave that short video linked somewhere. I did grab a matcha. I forgot my reusable cup today, unfortunately. And I think they've used the 𝑑𝒉𝒐 matcha because it actually tastes a little bit mushroomy, which I don't mind actually. It's just not, it's not quite as sweet. Yeah, more earthy than usual. I did bring a little bag with me in case I wanted to do some blackberry foraging on the way home, but given that it's now 11:15, I really need to get back. I need to make some lunch and tackle my inbox. I'm really putting it off today because I know that there's so much that I need to do. So let's head home, fuel up on some lovely, I'm gonna make a tomato soup, and then it is going to be an afternoon of boring laptop admin. Okay, I just have to ask a question, and I need serious, honest answers from you guys. I need to know if anyone else is quite as bonkers as I am. When I'm driving down the lanes and I see someone walking their dog, even though I'm in a car and I know that the dog nor the human can hear me, I always have to greet the dog. So for example, if there was someone walking a Labrador at the side of the road, even if I'm mid-listening to a podcast, I always have to say, "Good day to you, lovely friend," or something along those lines. And what made me think to like, there's a doggy over there, "Good morning to you." Anyone that has ever walked down the street with me or been in a car with me will know that this is absolutely true. I have to greet every dog that I come across. And even just now, there was a chicken. There is a farm with chickens, and I don't know if they are just completely allowed to roam wherever they want to roam, because there are quite often chickens
on the side of the road, just clucking around, foraging for food. And this chicken did a really loud cock-a-doodle-doo, and my response was, "Good morning to you, sir." I just need to know, is anyone else as crazy as I am? Or is it just me? Please tell me if you greet animals in a very, what's the word, expressive way. I would just like to know that I'm not alone. Please. Straight away I'm going to get my vegetables roasting, because I always think a low, slow roast just brings out so much more flavour. And it's 11:45 now, so I really need to get cracking if I want to have this for my lunch. Thank you to everybody that said absolutely do not keep your tomatoes in the fridge, it makes them go mushy. So these have been out on the side. I'm finally using my 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 tomatoes. Such an amazing variety. I've also got this little jar of tomatoes from the garden as well. Any variety will do for this soup. I'm also going to run down to the garden and grab a pepper. I know that I've got one in one of my raised beds, and some basil, some rosemary and some thyme. But first of all, let's prepare our roasting tin. So I'm going to take one yellow onion. I've quartered it and popping that in the roasting tin. 4 cloves of garlic, which I'm going to peel. I always think that the slightly smaller tomatoes do taste best in these kinds of soups, so I'm just taking them away from the green. You can let them roast on the green, but I find it easier to dismantle them at this stage. And then anything bigger, I will just chop up. Excuse my very messy raised bed, but in here we've got a pepper that's ripe and another one down there that's not quite ripe yet. Who'd have thought? I would have presumed only really warm countries could grow peppers, but there's one, and I know that I've got a few more kind of chili peppers in the greenhouse. My chili inferno plant has been pretty good this year. I've had a good amount of chilies from it. This will be perfect for adding a little kick to my soup. Look at this tray of goodness. So I've just sprinkled some salt and added a good glug of olive oil. So we've got all of the tomatoes, garlic, onion, pepper, then we've got some rosemary and thyme. Mixed it all together, and I'm going to roast this for half an hour. Then I'm going to add some basil leaves to the top and do another 20 minutes or so. Okay, heatless curls are in for a couple of hours. So these have been in the 𝑭𝒂 for a grand total of around 40 minutes. At the 20-minute mark, I took them out, gave them a bit of a shake up, and added just a little drizzle of balsamic vinegar. And this just helps to add like a richness and a little bit of a sweetness. Yesterday, while I was doing the roast, I also made a batch of my veggie broth. Those of you that have watched my videos around this time of year, autumn and winter in the past, will probably be very familiar with the veggie broth. What I like to do is basically save the scraps, so ends of onion, bits of carrot and celery, pop them in a freezer bag, and then when the freezer bag is full, I boil them in some water, add some herbs, let it all break down, and you get the most delicious and completely free vegetable broth, which is perfect for pasta dishes, stews, casseroles, and of course soups. So now that the roasted veg are out of the 𝑭𝒂, I'm going to add a really good splash of the veggie broth and then just give that a good stir in. I will at some point remove the woody rosemary bits, and then shortly we will use a hand blender to blitz this all up. So while that's simmering away on the hob, I'm going to make my delicious croutons, and I'm going to do parmesan and honey flavoured croutons. I think that'll work beautifully. So into another baking dish, I've got 2 slices of whatever bread you've got lying around. This one is a nice seeded sourdough.
drizzle with olive oil. Then I'm going to use up the leftover of this honey. So I've drizzled honey and olive oil on these, and I've just popped some parmesan on top. I don't need to add salt because the parmesan is salty enough. So these are going to go into the 𝑭𝒂𝒂 while the soup finishes. Okay, I've come outside post-lunch, which was absolutely delicious. It was a scrumptious soup and those croutons were so nice. I wanted to get a little bit of fresh air after lunch, and there's quite a lot that I still need to do in the garden at this time of year. There's always a lot that I need to do in the garden, but as I came in here earlier to get my chilies, it reminded me how much I have to do in the greenhouse as well. I've got a couple of brushes here to show you. I had a delivery from the Oxford Brush Company, and as you might be able to guess from the name, they specialise in brushes, and they very kindly sent me some. So we've got here 100% natural, the 𝑭𝒂𝒕 I think that's the name of this brush, and I think this is just like a traditional, I can use it to brush down the sides, very handy. This one is actually called a gardening tool brush, removes soil, plant remains and dirt from gardening tools as well as gardening boots. That is incredibly handy. Let's pretend this is a trowel that I've just been planting out with. I can use this to clean off my tools and my footwear as well. This one, I'm pretty sure, is actually for the dogs. It is a hairbrush. I mean, I could use it on myself as well, but it's bristly on one side and like this on another. So very nice and soft. Let's see if I can find a willing model. Dexter! Don't know where they are. They're somewhere in the garden. And then this one here, I'm pretty sure is just a nail brush, which is very handy after doing some gardening. So what a lovely delivery, very useful from the Oxford Brush Company. They've got a store. In fact, I think I took you into the store a few months ago on Burford High Street. If you ever have a brush requirement, then they've got everything that you need. Okay, I've just had a quick outfit change. I know I still look ridiculous with my hair in heatless curls. Sometimes I just accidentally spend the entire day with them in heatless curls, and then I'm like, why did I bother? I will take them out at some point, but first I'm just going to tidy using my new brush the greenhouse a little bit, because it's looking very unlovely here. A model. Right, let's see what we think of our new hairbrush. Oh, it's so nice and soft. Dexy loves to be pampered. Oh, you lucky boy, let me do those ears. Let's do the tummy. Good boy. Very much flitting between tasks today, mainly based on when the sun is shining, but what I'm doing right now is just kind of rolling the dried lavender between my fingers, and I'm able to get the little pods off. I don't know what you'd call them, I guess they're seed heads. It's super dry, having been drying out for the past few weeks, as I showed you yesterday, between the tablecloths, so the dried little lavender heads come away from the stalks really easily, and I'm just putting them on this tray, and then I will decant them into a jar, and this will be lovely for baking. I love making lavender shortbread. I know that in autumn it's maybe not the flavour that you crave, but I personally love lavender flavour all year round. You can make a nice lavender and mint tea. Let me know your favourite ways of using lavender down below. Yeah, I'm just going to do this for another 5 minutes or so. It is a very laborious task, and I'm sure there's a better way of doing it, but I've just been watching some YouTube videos while I'm doing it, and it is rather relaxing.
Bean harvest for today. Beans and courgettes and a couple of tomatoes. So many. I'm definitely going to have to do some sorting this evening. I'll probably chop these up, lightly boil them, and then put them in the freezer, ready for more Sunday roasts. Okay, my darlings, heatless curls are out, and they've done a pretty good job. If only I was actually heading out this evening. So I would love to do a little unboxing with you, or unbagging, of a brand new 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 delivery, which arrived a couple of days ago. I've been waiting for the perfect moment to unbox this with you, and 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 bags, they really are fabulous, because in my opinion, the price versus the quality versus the timelessness of the designs of 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 pieces is just absolutely spot on. They have really hit a sweet spot in the market that I feel like designer bags are just not really catering for this certain market anymore. I used to work for Mulberry, and I absolutely adore Mulberry bags and brands like that, but they've just got so expensive that if you're looking for an everyday bag but you don't want to be spending close to £1,000, then 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 is just absolutely perfect for that. So I would say all of my most worn handbags in my collection are my 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 bags. I am a customer of 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, and they very kindly offered to send me a new one from their new collection for autumn, so of course I said, woo, yes please, thank you very, very much. So let me show you which one I chose. You might be able to tell from the size of the bag that it's not one of their larger ones. It's, I believe it is technically called the midi size, and I think this colorway and fabric is going to be so perfect for autumn and winter, but I just think they're so versatile for all year round. Oh my goodness, it's even more of a perfect color than I thought. Sneak peek, look at this. Oh my goodness me. That is just divine, absolutely divine. It is like a camely mocha, almost pumpkin spice latte colour. Yes, how absolutely stunning. It is of course suede, so I would say that if you are the kind of person that maybe a little bit clumsy, then suede I would say is not the best choice. You can of course spray with liquid proof, which I will be doing in the next 5 minutes before I have a chance to get anything on this. And liquid proof, I will leave it linked down below, will be your best friend. Suede boots, suede cuffs on jackets, actually any material, not just suede. It basically makes it waterproof and stain proof, but without changing how the material looks at all. It just makes everything so durable. However, my other 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 bag that is this size, I've actually got 3 now. Very, very spoily, I know, but my first one that I purchased was the canvas with the same colour tan leather, but this is like a creamy canvas. I literally was carrying it the other day, I'm sure you'll have seen in the vlogs. But then my second one is more of a textured, I'll show you upstairs, but it's kind of like a hard, shiny textured leather. It is indestructible. I think that's the Kate Hutchins one. And you can throw red wine at it, beetroot juice at it, you can fling it in the back of your car, and honestly this bag is never going to mark or tarnish. It is so completely fail safe. This is going to require just a little bit more love and care because it is suede. I can suede spray it and that will definitely help, but it's just something to consider when you are treating yourself to a beautiful new bag. When I first saw the shape of these 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅s, I thought, is that really going to be practical? Let me tell you, it is the most practical shape and size of bag. It just fits in everything that you need it to fit in. It looks so chic. When you are carrying these bags, they just always look so chic.
I think they work with so many different outfits. Like right now, just very, very cozy knitwear and jeans, and the bag kind of makes the outfit, doesn't it? It just makes the whole look seem that little bit more stylish. You have got a variety of press studs to make it as closed or as open as you want to. You can open the bag up and carry it like a bucket. You can have it with a shoulder strap. It's got a little zippy pocket on the inside as well. I think this colour is perfect for autumn and winter, and I'll leave it linked down below. I think that this, as we don't really want to start thinking about Christmas gifts just yet, but this would be a really, really good one to put on a Christmas gift list, wish list. Also, if you're just looking to really add one key new piece into your wardrobe for the autumn season, then I think this would be a fabulous choice. It is making me nervous holding this, knowing that it doesn't have 𝑭𝒐𝒏𝒅 spray on it yet. So I'm gonna go upstairs and give it a misting so that it is fully protected. Okay, this is the magic product that you need. I'll leave it linked down below, liquid proof. I do like to open a window because I'm sure it's probably not the best thing to inhale. And you just want to give a good even coating, and we'll let that dry before I first take it outside. I did also treat myself to the Ralph Lauren rucksack in the suede, and I'm blaming a lot of you guys for saying how much you wear your backpacks, so I'm going to give this a suede spray with the liquid proof as well. And all puzzle bagged together, I've got my two other favourite 𝑭𝒊𝒐𝒏𝒅s inside my beach bag. So this is the one that I was referring to, that's like completely, you know, you cannot mark this, you can't scratch it, it's so durable. For me, this is a really wintry bag, so I'll probably get this out in like November. And then for more summery months, this one, you'll have seen me wearing this so much. It's probably my favorite. It was my first ever one that I treated myself to from 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, and I absolutely love it. They are so versatile and gorgeous and just go with so many outfits. I have just been sorting more lavender in the greenhouse, and this is my second jar full now. So we've got loads of lavender for upcoming recipes and bath salt mixtures, which I'll probably put together in the next vlog. Well, it has turned into such a lovely evening. We're definitely going to head out on yet another dog walk once we've had dinner. Charlie's got some chicken thighs marinating in the oven in a kind of mapley, slightly spicy marinade, and it smells so good. My task, I'm just going to sit out here and prep my beans. I'm going to slice the ends off and then cut them into sections about 1 inch big, and then put them in a bowl, and I will blanch them, which is when you just put them in boiling water for a few minutes and then into ice cold water, then put them into freezer bags. I know it's quite a laborious task, but it's so worth it to be able to have homegrown beans with your Sunday roast and Christmas dinner later in the year. So this will probably take me a good hour or so, I think. So I'm going to put my earphones in and watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. Still behind, I'm still only on season 2, while I chop up my beans. So I think that's going to be it for today's vlog. I'll show you a little bit of the bean progress, but I will bid you good night now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog, another lovely cozy September vlog. Really enjoying these slightly more cozy and lovely homey vlogs, and I hope you are as well. But having said that, I think the next vlog is going to be a London vlog, because Charlie and I have been very kindly invited to the Downton Abbey premiere, which I'm so excited about. So yeah, London vlog next for something a little bit different. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the new beautiful essence from 𝑦𝒊𝒏𝒅. I'll leave that linked down below for a gorgeous skincare treat this new season. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and check if you're subscribed. If you're not, I'm talking to you. Because I always hear people saying that, and I'm like, yeah, doesn't it count for me? And she's not talking to me, not telling me to subscribe. I am, I'm talking to you. Just check if you're subscribed. If you're not, please do hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next one. Good night.